Attention! This is a civil danger alert issued by the County Public Safety Authority. The following message is transmitted at the request of local law enforcement and the Department of National Emergencies. This is not a test. Remain calm and listen carefully. An immediate threat has been identified in this area. Do not stop listening. Vital safety information will be provided. The threat is an unidentified female individual of advanced age, hereafter referred to as the subject. Reports indicate this subject targets individuals in isolated locations, particularly at night or in low-occupancy buildings. Victims describe awakening in unfamiliar enclosed spaces with the subject, often a rundown residence or structure that is somehow removed from easy escape. All cases share one critical detail. An elderly woman who calls herself Granny is present, and she will hunt any intruder without mercy. We repeat, a dangerous entity known informally as Granny is at large. The subject appears as a pale elderly woman approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall. She wears a tattered grey house gown stained with unknown substances. Witnesses report her eyes are cloudy, milky white as though blinded by cataracts. Do not be deceived. She can still see movement and has extraordinary hearing. She is often seen carrying a blunt wooden weapon, described as a blood-stained baseball bat or club. She moves unnaturally quietly, often appearing without warning from dark doorways or behind her prey. Floorboards may creak when she is near, but by then it may be too late. If you hear sudden floor creaking nearby when you are alone, remain absolutely still and silent. The subject exhibits predatory, stealthy behavior. She prefers to stalk victims slowly rather than attack immediately, playing a gruesome game of hide and seek with those trapped in her vicinity. She will investigate any noise. Many survivors emphasize this. She hears everything. A single misstep on a creaking floor, a knocked over object, even a whispered breath can draw her directly to you. If you drop something and hear it clatter in the dark, expect her to arrive within seconds. Conversely, her vision seems to be poor. She responds primarily to sound. Use this to your advantage only as a last resort. Attempting to distract her with sound might save you once, but it will also make her more alert and aggressive. The subject is known to set bear traps to immobilize victims. These are iron, jaw-like traps normally intended for large animals. She places them in doorways, hallways, or at the foot of stairs, areas you are likely to pass while fleeing. Several reports confirm loud metallic clanking sounds moments before a trap is discovered on the ground. Stepping into one will clamp onto your legs with bone-breaking force. If you become caught, you will be incapacitated and she will hear the trap snap closed. She will come for you. If you spot any bear trap or metal jaws on the floor, avoid it carefully or disable it if possible. Do not assume an area is safe just because you passed through moments before. The subject can deploy traps at any time, even in rooms you thought were secure. The exact method by which victims find themselves in the subject's hunting ground is under investigation. Some victims report being in their own homes or walking alone on a quiet street before blacking out, then waking up trapped in an unknown house with barred windows and locked doors. Others recall seeing a frail old woman near their property shortly before everything went dark. It is unclear if the subject physically abducts her targets or if there is a supernatural relocation involved. What is clear is that once you wake up in that place, often a decaying multi-story house or similarly confined building, the hunt begins immediately. The subject will likely be aware of your presence as soon as you regain consciousness. If you find yourself suddenly in an unfamiliar room that smells of mold and decay, with boarded windows or a door locked from the outside, assume you have been taken by the subject. Stay calm and remember these steps. Do not shout for help. The subject is likely already within earshot. Immediately look for hiding spots, under a bed, inside a wardrobe or closet, behind large furniture. Identify at least one hideaway in any room you enter. Move only when absolutely necessary, and do so slowly to minimize creaking floorboards. The structure is old. Nearly every step can produce a noise. If you see a doorway leading out, pause and listen carefully. The subject often patrols hallways. Listen for any humming or muttering before you move to the next area. The subject has a peculiar habit of vocalizing during the hunt. You may hear a distant rasping voice uttering phrases such as, "Where are you?" "I see you," or an eerie off-key humming of a lullaby. These sounds are meant to terrify you and lure you into reacting. Do not answer, and do not let them trick you into revealing your position. She may also emit sudden cackles or giggles. Treat any unexpected noise as a sign she is extremely close. If at any point you hear her call, "Do you want to play hide and seek?" understand this is not an invitation. It is a threat. Remain in place and stay silent. Some survivors attempted to confront or outrun the subject. Physical confrontation is strongly discouraged. Despite her age and frail frame, she has unnatural strength and speed. There are accounts of her moving in a blur at the moment she spots a victim, or appearing at the end of a corridor far quicker than should be possible. Do not run straight for an exit. She anticipates predictable escape routes and often rigs them with traps. Instead, move unpredictably and try to break her line of sight. Use doors or obstacles to slow her. She will hear them, but even a few seconds gained can be critical. If you manage to hide again after she's spotted you, stay absolutely quiet and do not assume you've escaped until you are completely out of the building. A few victims have escaped and provided valuable information. From their testimonies, a pattern emerged. The house or building is full of locks, padlocks, coded locks, hidden panels, and the keys or tools to open them are scattered throughout. It is as if the entire structure is a twisted puzzle meant to prolong the chase. Multiple witnesses confirmed encountering locked doors requiring keys hidden inside books, behind paintings, in crawl spaces and other unlikely spots. If you are trapped and the exit is locked, you must methodically search for tools, keys, codes, cutters, anything that might open a door or window. The subject deliberately hides these items. Be thorough but cautious. Rummaging through drawers or breaking walls will create noise and bring her to you. If more than one person is trapped with you, whisper and coordinate quietly. Teamwork may improve your odds, but remember that any noise one person makes can doom you all. Time is limited. Surviving captives consistently report that the subject's game lasts up to 5 days at most. The longer you remain, the more dangerous she becomes. On the first day, she might move slowly or toy with you, giving a false sense of hope. By the 5th day, if you have not escaped, she grows enraged and relentless, and capture becomes almost certain. It is unknown what happens after the 5th day, because no one who remained that long has lived to tell. Some disappear without a trace. Others are found partially. Do not let it reach that final day. If you cannot find a way out by day 5, your chances of survival are nearly zero. Be aware, this is not just a physical threat. There are reports of hallucinations and mind tricks during captivity. Victims described the layout of the house shifting when they weren't looking or hearing familiar voices. Loved ones, friends, calling to them from behind walls. Some claimed to see a second figure, a pale, silent onlooker, just at the edge of vision, disappearing when pursued. The subject may exploit fear and confusion to break your will. You might feel sudden waves of hopelessness or an urge to surrender. Resist these feelings. They are not your own. They are induced. Focus on what you know is real. The key in your hand, the door in front of you. Do not trust any vision or voice unless you are absolutely sure it's real. This threat did not begin recently. Unexplained disappearances matching this pattern have been recorded for decades. though kept out of public reports to avoid panic. As far back as 1985, a teenager vanished from a campground and reappeared days later in shock, muttering about an old lady in the dark that kept him in a maze-like house. Similar stories were quietly filed away by authorities every few years. We now recognize these were early encounters with the subject. The reason you are only hearing of this now is that containment has failed. Attempts to capture or eliminate her by force have not succeeded. She has been shot and struck down, only to rise again. Houses believed to be her lairs have burned or collapsed under mysterious circumstances, presumably to cover her escape. We do not know what the subject truly is. Possibly an ordinary woman possessed by something evil, or something not human at all, masquerading as a harmless grandmother. By broadcasting this message, we acknowledge the risk that the subject might be aware of it. She has interfered with communications before. If you hear any deviation from this message, such as a different voice speaking to you through the TV or radio, do not trust it. Do not follow any instructions that contradict what you have been told. We will now attempt to continue the broadcast with this in mind. Come out, wherever you are. I can hear you. That voice was not part of our official message. The subject may be attempting to insert herself into this broadcast. Ignore any such interruptions. Do not let her taunts sway you from following these safety guidelines. This broadcast will now conclude and repeat. Before we end, remember, never assume you are safe from her reach. Stay vigilant at all times. If you ever wake up to unfamiliar surroundings, peeling floral wallpaper, the smell of old wood and decay, locks on every door, then you must act swiftly and with absolute caution. Follow the instructions provided. Stay quiet, hide, avoid her traps, find the exit. Escape before 5 days pass. Wherever you are hearing this, spread the warning quietly. Do not discuss her loudly or openly. It is possible she listens even when unseen. We pray you never encounter the one called Granny. But if you do, now you know what to do. This concludes the emergency broadcast.